Hi guys, and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 video. Today's flight is from Istanbul to Berlin on board Turkish Airlines Airbus A350-900 variant. Now, we will be doing the startup procedure but on the runway. We will be departing from runway 23, I think, 23 or 27, one of those two. And whilst we import all our data in, I can happily say for the first time since actually getting this game, my autopilot works. I don't know how I did it or what I did, but I think it's via selecting different waypoints on the flight management system, and whilst I did that, it turns out that it worked. The aircraft actually followed the flight plan on the system, and yeah, I was really happy when that happened. It's taken me more than a week to do that, but we've actually gotten there, which is good news. Now hopefully it stays the same. I've not tried it out on the 1000 variant yet, which is where I had the majority of the issues, but hopefully when I try my next flight, it'll work. So I wanted to report that. Also, in terms of the actual flight, everything felt smooth. I didn't really have any stutters. I didn't have any lags, no CTDs. Somehow everything worked smoothly, which was really good. And even when I went to restart the flight, that loaded. There was instances where it loaded within less than 30 seconds, which is rare. Usually it takes around 2 to 3 minutes. But yeah, happy to report that everything's been working fine. I'm very happy with the aircraft. If you missed my one week review video, have a look at that. I think it's basically Flight Simulator 2024 and their issues, which is what's preventing me from actually giving this aircraft a very high rating. In the other video I gave it a 7.5. I think I can up that to around an 8, based on the fact that I've actually managed to get autopilot working. So if it can stay like that, it can be maintained at an 8. What else? I think I'm tempted to get more liveries. There's the Virgin Atlantic pack and some others that come in that 4 livery pack for European Airlines. I really want the Delta ones, but I just can't justify spending £4.69 for one livery. Same with Cathay Pacific, I really want that one. Who knows, maybe I'll just end up buying it, but let's see. That's enough talking from me. Let's get this Turkish airline flight going. We'll just sort out takeoff config, and we will make sure that all of our settings are in the correct place. The one annoying thing that I've got left is basically the airplane spawning at the jet bridge. Whenever I try and land at an airport, I can't seem to find one. All of a sudden these planes just appear. I've checked online and it just doesn't seem like you can actually turn that off, which is a bit frustrating. So it is what it is. Right, takeoff time. We'll put our thrust levers into flex, both of them, and we'll release the parking brake, and we'll start off with our journey to Berlin. I have done sim rate, which is quite cool, and I think one day I am going to actually spend some time and do a complete flight. It'll probably be a short one, and I'm thinking within Japan, because I know the A350, Japan Airlines operates one of the shortest A350 routes in the world, so I'll probably do that one. We can do the whole shebang, so takeoff, climb, cruise, and landing, all on autopilot. So I've activated autopilot here, and I think I've clicked on one of the waypoints, and you can see that the aircraft is actually responding to the actual flight plan, which is really good. We'll decrease the thrust lever to climb and leave it there. One thing I did want to check, I know there are altitude constraints, but I think within 5-10 minutes of the flight, it was stuck at 10,000 altitude, even though I set my altitude limiter to 30,000 plus, and on the speed you can see it's stuck at 250. Now I think it's because of my flaps, but even then For some reason the altitude just didn't want to go up to the designated limiter that I had set, and when thrust altitude constraints was gone, it was staying at 10,000 feet, so I had to manually do it myself. Now, is this something that I'm doing wrong, or is this how it's supposed to be? Because surely even like 10 minutes into the flight it should be reaching its cruise level of altitude, which is around 30,000 feet. So yeah, let me know if I'm doing something wrong there. I did want the altitude to go up automatically by itself, but for some reason it didn't. It was just stuck at 10,000 feet even though I set it to 30,000. So I feel like every video I'm trying to find a solution for something, and we are getting there. I think this is one that, again, I'll probably have to play around with and just find out by looking at forums and the manuals, but I fixed the main thing, and that's the autopilot situation. So you can see there on the flight management system that I'm actually setting a waypoint. So once I do that, it just seems to follow the actual flight plan, which is really cool. So I'll let that play out. If you know how to fix the altitude autopilot thingy where it just stays at 10,000 feet, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, enjoy the rest of the flight. Landing at Berlin, this aircraft is really fun to fly, and I would recommend buying it. Obviously when it comes out on Flight Sim 2020, I'll do a full review of that, but I highly doubt that'll be coming out in the next few months now. So as always, enjoy the rest of the video. Leave a like. If you could press that subscribe button, that would be very helpful. I am so close to 6,000 subs, and thanks for watching.